A huge day for Team USA as they had 3 more medals, and they were big ones. The trio of medals also moved the USA up to second in the medal standings with a total of 27. Norway continues to lead after adding another gold medal today with a grand total of 34 medals, 16 of them golds. Let's recap all the action from day 13 at Milano Cortina. Team USA is golden once again. Megan Keller scored the golden goal just over 4 minutes into the first overtime period to take down Canada 2-1. It's the third gold medal for the Americans in women's ice hockey. Hillary Knight scored late in the third period to send the game to overtime and also became the all-time leading Olympic scorer for USA women's hockey. One fantastic stat, the United States allowed just 2 goals the entire tournament. In figure skating, Alysa Liu jumped from third after the short program to the top of the podium, winning the first individual gold for an American woman since 2002. Amber Glenn rebounded after her short program struggles, climbing from 13th all the way up to 5th. In women's curling, it took an extra end for Team Peterson to punch their ticket to the semifinal with a 7-6 win over Switzerland. They will play in the medal round for the first time since 2002. Finally, in speed skating, Jordan Stoltz came up just short in the men's 1500 meter. Stoltz took home silver after China's Ning Zhongyan set a new Olympic record. Stoltz will have one more crack at the podium in the men's mass starts on Saturday. For all the latest news on everything from the Winter Olympics, keep watching, reading, and following Yahoo Sports.
The golden goal began with a filthy move. American defender Megan Keller just about juked Canada's Claire Thompson out of her skates with the gold medal match 4 minutes into overtime and both teams desperate for a winning goal. Suddenly one-on-one with Canadian goaltender Anne-Renee Desbiens, Keller didn't waste her chance. She lashed the puck through the goalie's legs, clinching an imperfect but resilient 2-1 US victory and sending her teammates spilling out onto the ice. Only minutes earlier, the mood inside the arena was very, very different. A US hockey team that had outscored its previous 6 opponents 31-1 was down a goal and running out of time. With the Americans having pulled their goalie and in desperation mode, Hillary Knight came to the rescue. Knight redirected a Layla Edwards rocket from the point past Desbiens, giving her team new life. Asked what she was thinking when that goal went in, Knight said, "I was thinking we were going to win the game. It was that simple." The rest of us had to wait for Keller's goal, and for a move that we won't soon forget.
Hey everyone, it's Nathan Chen here. We just finished the last event of the 2026 Winter Olympics for figure skating, and what an event to cap it all off. Alysa Liu, Olympic gold medalist, that has such a great ring to it. I am so proud of her. The US is so proud of her. She really came down and put out the program that she wanted, and you can feel the joy, the excitement that she has. There's no such thing as pressure in her vocabulary. And just it's amazing, she's had such an incredible journey. 4 years ago, didn't even want to skate anymore, retired, wanted to put the sport aside, and refound this love, refound this excitement for figure skating, and that has really brought her to the Olympics and onto the Olympic podium. As soon as she went out there with a gold dress, I was like, okay, you know what, this might be her Olympic moment, and it might end in Olympic gold, and so I'm so happy for her. Amber, what an incredible free program. All the way through, you could just tell that there's a feeling of lightness, of power, and her skating's just like so exciting to watch. Triple axel, nuts, incredible triple axel. The rest of the program, so good, so on point. When she's on it, and it was very apparent tonight, and she should be so proud of that skate. And then Isabeau, mistake on the first element, but she really fought through and she carried her way through the rest of the program, elegant as always. And she should also be very proud of this Olympic debut. And she has a very long career ahead of her, so use this as fuel, use this as excitement, use this as experience. And the next 4 years will show a lot for her. Devastated for Kaori. She certainly had Olympic gold hopes heading into this Olympics. And with a mistake on that flip toe, it really cost her that gold. And given that she had that flip as a solo element, that means she lost even more points. And that's where that point difference came between her and Alysa. But she should be so proud of that. She still has had an incredible career, coming in, getting a silver medal at this Olympics. I think that she should be incredibly proud of herself, and it was very emotional watching her tonight. I really loved her program, and I really hope that she's able to look back on this Olympic experience, and her Olympic journey and her whole career with pride, and I know that the rest of the skating community does too. But tonight was about Alysa, and she was the star of the show once again, and just so proud of her.
We had another very exciting night here at the Milano Ice Skating Arena, the long track speed skating men's 1,500 meters. And I had originally had Jordan Stolz, our guy, to be number one today by a landslide. I had bet all the marbles, and I thought that this was going to be his easiest race because of how physically fit and strong he is towards the last lap and a half. And here's actually what happened tonight. This is a major difference in the racing strategy. A Chinese skater, Ning, skated out of his head. Exceptional pair. He wins with a new Olympic record, faster and better than I think that anyone was expecting him to skate here today. And in second place was Jordan Stolz. In third place was the Dutch, the last Olympic Games for an amazing athlete, Naus from the Netherlands. This is his final debut while skating long track speed skating for his home country. But the real story here tonight is Jordan. And as I replay the race in my head and I think about what could he have done differently, there's a lot of different things that happen in the games that are different. The format's different, the rest is different. The fact that he started with the 1,000 meters, then he went to the 500 meters, then he has to switch gears to the 1,500 meters. These are all different energy systems. None of this is an actual excuse. None of this is an excuse, but the reality that I'm seeing here is the 5 rings does play a role. Now, as I was watching Jordan, the first lap and a half was just not fast enough. And so you may think, well, what is Apolo talking about? Well, in a race like the 1,500 meters, you have to gauge and pace yourself depending on the style that you like to train and skate. So for Jordan, his middle lap and his last lap are exceptional. But the first lap is actually really critical for him to build speed, to get up as fast as he possibly can, and then hold that throughout the remainder of the race. And that was the deciding factor tonight here in this men's 1,500 meter. The Chinese skater opened up incredibly fast, significantly faster than Jordan. And actually, when we look back at these lap times, Jordan just didn't open up fast enough. Now, I know all of us, me included, we Americans, we love to win. And if you ain't first, you're last. But the reality is, at these Olympic Games, Jordan Stolz trained a lifetime since he was 5 years old for this moment. And this kid made the podium again for the 3rd time. I mean, that is extraordinary. So while the color of the medal may not be originally what he intended to be, this will be fuel for him as he goes forward to the next Olympic Games. He should be proud. America's proud. He skated a great race. We live, we learn, we adapt, we recalibrate, and we go back out there on the attack.
As you can see behind me right now, it looks like a pretty nice day here in Bormio, but I can assure you from the first heats of ski mountaineering's Olympic debut on Thursday morning until the finals several hours later, it was a complete whiteout, which is kind of appropriate for this new Olympic sport that harkens back to a simpler time when people actually had to walk up hills before skiing down them. Indeed, skimo is relatively simple. Athletes make their way up a ski slope with traction-generating skins on the bottom of their skis, navigate a few obstacles, take their skis off to go up a series of steps, put them back on, and then ski down a hill in a race that lasts about 3 minutes. And judging by the response of the crowd, people absolutely loved it. Now, it should be said that skimo is pretty well established in Europe and has been part of the World Cup circuit for several years. It is definitely new to an American audience, however, which is why Anna Gibson and Cameron Smith, representing Team USA, were exceptionally proud of advancing out of the first heats and making the semifinals. For Gibson in particular, it was a pretty remarkable day, given she only took up the sport seriously last year. And though both of them ended up pretty far behind in the semifinals, where it was obvious to see how the best in the world could separate from the field, you have to keep in mind that neither of them considered the possibility of being Olympic athletes until very, very recently. So from my perspective, after watching Switzerland's Marion Fatone win the women's sprint and Oriol Cardona of Spain win the men's event, skimo is probably in the Olympics to stay. The fans absolutely loved it, and the unique nature of the races makes for a pretty interesting and easy to watch television product. Most of the athletes competing today didn't get into skimo with the idea of making an Olympics because it seemed like a far-off possibility until a couple years ago. But now that it has a spot on the biggest stage in sports, don't be surprised if a lot more aspiring Olympians try it. Keep up with Yahoo Sports for all the results from the 2026 Winter Olympics.
Just 3 full days left of competition at the 2026 Winter Games. Here's what to watch on day 14. We're down to the final 4 in men's ice hockey. Team USA will face Slovakia in the semifinals after narrowly squeaking through in overtime against Sweden. With a win, the U.S. will advance to its first gold medal game since the 2010 games in Vancouver. Canada and Finland will square off in the other semi. U.S. freestyle skiers will compete in the men's aerials and halfpipe competitions. Alex Ferreira is looking to find the podium for his third straight Olympics in the halfpipe. He currently has a silver and bronze in the event. Medals will also be awarded in women's ski cross. In the first day of short track, Kristen Santos Griswold and Corin Stoddard will lead the way for Team USA in the women's 1,500-meter race. Team USA still looking for its first medal in short track at these games. Finally, in long track speed skating, Brittany Bowe will be back on the track in the women's 1,500-meter, an event she once held the world record in. Her fourth Olympic Games, Bowe still in search of her first medal in the 1,500. Join us every single morning on Yahoo Sports Daily, where we recap all the biggest moments from the 2026 Winter Games.